Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So in this lesson we're going to continue modifying the machine gun scripts, but we're actually going to begin in the MG anim script. And we're going to come down to this void play machine gun shoot animation. And we're going to come above the start core routine function. Now it must go here, otherwise this code will not work. So now we're here, we'll say if open and close brackets, inside the brackets input dot, and we're going to use get button down, open and close brackets again, inside the brackets fire, should be a little speech mark, sorry, fire 1, and we'll come to the comments if input equals the fire 1 button pressed down. So we are putting press down for a very good reason, which you will see in a moment. But we're going to come to the next line, put return close line off, and the usual comment, then do nothing and return. We're going to copy that if line, we'll paste that in again above the start core routine. We're going to change button down to button up. In the comments, if the fire button is released. So now only when we release the fire button do we return to the original position. If not, we'll continue actually moving the machine gun around. And with that said, let's come to the machine gun script now. And we're going to create some variables. Yeah, I'll make these public to begin with, so we can see them in the inspector. But of course you can reset them to private once you see it working. So the first one, public int underscore MG settings counter. Let's put that into the comments. Defines a counter for the machine gun setting. Next one is going to be a public string underscore selected setting, and we're going to make this equal, and then we're just going to use 2 speech marks. This means it's equal to an empty string, because we're going to fill that string with a value later. So let's put this into the comments. Create a variable. Let's say to store the machine gun setting, public string again. This time we're going to create an array by opening and closing square brackets, underscore, and we'll give this a name of underscore MG setting, and that's going to be equal to a new string. Again, open and close the square type of brackets, and then we're going to open and close our normal type of brackets. And inside this second set, we're going to put 2 speech marks in between, single, comma, and all of these are going to be within speech marks. So the next one is semi-automatic. We need a comma at the end. And and the next line is going to be fully automatic. We don't need a comma there, but we do need a close bracket. We do need to close the line off after the close bracket. Let's get this into the comments. So create a string array for the machine gun settings. So you can see what this code is going to do eventually. We're going to be able to fire a single shot from the machine gun, a semi-automatic version or a fully automatic. I think you all have guessed that, but with that in place, let's come to the void start now. We're going to come to weapon cooldown. I'm going to use 0.2F. So that is what I'm changing that value to. Again, I might need to tweak that slightly. You may want to tweak that value to find something that fits your project, but that one's about right when I tested it out. So we're going to say private void now. Late update, open and close brackets, close that line off, and we're going to use if open and close brackets input dot get button up, open and close brackets again. Inside these brackets we're going to put the speech marks, and we're going to say weapon underscore mode. We'll just downsize Visual Studio for a moment. We'll come to edit, project settings, and the input manager. Now, I've already created the button, but we've done this many times before. You increase the size by 1. And come to the last one, give it a new naming convention and assign a button. You can use any button you like. I'm going to use Z. Just in case you was wondering, it's already created because this is actually the second time that I've tried to record this video. So after that, in if line, we open and close brackets. In fact, let's get the comment in for that line already. So we're going to say if input equals the, and I'll put this in speech marks as well, weapon underscore mode button. Will then come inside the brackets. We're going to say if open and close brackets underscore mg settings counter is less than mg, and we want settings, just settings dot length. So we're saying if the value that will be assigned to this counter is less than the length of this variable, which is this string here, and this is the length of our string, so we actually have 3. Now, a word of note, the first one is always 0. So even though we have 3, the length is 0, 1, 2. We'll come to that line, we'll come into the comments and we'll say if settings counter is less than the length of the settings string, we'll come to the line below. We're going to say underscore MG settings counter, and we're just going to increase the counter by adding a couple of pluses and then closing that line off. We'll say then increase the settings counter. We'll just copy those two lines, we'll paste them in below. We'll change the less than to a double equals. Tidy up the comments, we'll need to change them away if the settings counter is equal to the length of the settings string. Then we're going to reset this back to 0, so we'll get rid of the two pluses, equals 0. And we'll just put in the comments, then reset the counter. Underscore selected settings equals underscore MG setting, open and close the square type of brackets, and inside those brackets we actually want the MG settings counter. Come to the end of the line, close that off, and we'll put the selected setting is equal to the counter value within the settings string. Now, don't worry if you don't understand how this code works for now. We'll need some more code, but that's obviously the basics, the variables and the button working, and we'll pick this up in the very next video. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time, and until then, as always, bye for now.